Alright, one thing that we can do with percents is we can actually solve problems. Now, these problems are called percent proportions. Essentially what it is you have a single English sentence and you have to figure out how to set up the proportion of that sentence. Then you have to be able to identify the variable you're trying to solve for and then use cross product ideas in order to solve for it. The proportion we're using is this formula. P over 100 equals A over B. One thing to keep in mind is that the P is your percent. Now the other thing that we have is we have A, which stands for amount, and B, which stands for base. When you're reading your sentences, there are some keys that we have to pay attention to. First is that if you see the word is, that is talking about the amount, or A. If you see the word of, we're talking about your base, or B. So what you have to do is you have to read your sentence and be able to figure out what's missing. So let's take a look at it. The first one says, what is 210% of 30? So here we're looking at this part of the sentence. This is the part that matters. The first thing that we have is we have 210. So when we're talking about P, we're talking about the 210%. We then have the word of, and of stands for B, and so we do not have the word is. So we have the word of, which stands for B, so of 30 means your base is 30. Therefore, the missing part is A. So setting up our proportion is P over 100 is equal to A over B. Plug in what you know. So we have 210 over 100 is equal to A over 30. Once you figure out what your proportion is supposed to look like, all you have to do is you just simply have to solve for the missing part. So we're going to do that by using cross product. So cross product means the top of one side to the bottom of the other, and vice versa. What we're doing is we are crossing the equal sign. So here we've got 100A is equal to 210 times 30. So 210 times 30 excuse me. So we have 100A is equal to 6,300. We got to divide everything by hundreds, so we find out that A is equal to 63. And this was actually the result that we were looking for. Alright, so let's look at another one. Here we have what percent of, and then we've got 160 is 8. So again, the most important thing that we're looking at here is the is piece. So we need to look at what do we know? Well, here we're trying to find what percent. So that tells you right away that P is the unknown, and we want to know percent of 160 is 8. So we have the word of, again stands for B, so this is 160, and then we have the word is, which is our A term, which is 8. So we are again going to set up P over 100 is equal to 8 over 160. So all we have to do is solve. So here we're going to get 160p is equal to 8 times 100. So 160p is equal to 800. So p is going to be 5%. And when you're looking for your percent, do make sure that you remember to slap your percent sign on your solution. Alright, let's look at another one. Here we have 250% of 24 is what? So we're looking at, we've got this of piece right here. My percent or p is going to be 250. And then when we're looking at it, we want to know 250% of 24. So again, the word of is our b. So this is going to be 24. So that means we need to set up our proportion. 250 over 100 is equal to a over 24. And now we need to solve. 100a is equal to 250 times 24. 250 times 24 is going to give you 100a equals 6,000. Therefore, a is 60, and this is our result. Alright, let's look at one more version of the way these could be written. We want 1% of 44 is 27.5. So we've got this piece right here is what we're looking at. We've got the of and we've got the is. So this means the percent is the one that we're looking for. We've got of 44, so that tells you that b is 44, and we have is 27.5, so a is 27.5. So we're going to have p over 100 is equal to 27.5 over 44, and solve. So here we've got 44p is equal to 27.5 times 100. So my 44p is equal to 2750. So p is equal to 62.5%. So there you have it. You have 4 different examples of 4 different ways that your sentences could be written, and each way shows you how to attack and identify the pieces that you have. So if you have any questions on trying to solve and work with percent proportions, let me know. Otherwise, sit back, relax, enjoy yourself, and I will see you next time.